Before I yield the floor, I'd like to also talk briefly about the Transportation Appropriations Bill this chamber is considering. I really appreciate the hard work that Senator Reid and Senator Collins have been to get this bill to a place that makes critical investments in transportation and housing, and in particular for some of our most vulnerable citizens. Their work has been tireless, and I'm happy to see much of the progress they're making. However, this appropriations bill, as it currently stands, includes some provisions that would weaken highway safety. At a time when 4,000 people are losing their lives annually on American highways and 100,000 are injured due to large truck crashes, it is paramount that Congress do more to improve safety, not remove evidence-based safety policies. New Jersey alone has some 38,000 miles of public roads that connect people of our state and gets them where they need to be. It drives much of the commerce and economy of our state every day, and New Jersey is strategically placed that makes it a very important pass-through state as well for goods up and down the East Coast. These roads also see a tremendous amount of truck traffic at all times of the day and night. If you've ever driven on the New Jersey Turnpike, you know what I mean. So I'm concerned that we saw an increase in truck accidents from 2009 to 2012, an increase in crash injuries by 40%. And truck crash fatalities during this time have increased 16%. Now, this is data. These are numbers. But they're also human lives. They're fellow Americans who've had their lives shattered by horrific accidents. Truck driver fatigue is a leading cause of these major truck accidents. These drivers who work extremely long days delivering the goods we depend upon deserve basic protections, allowing them to get sufficient rest to do their job. I filed an amendment on the hours of service rules, which were put in place to prevent truck driver fatigue and ensure that the rules put in place after years of study and robust stakeholder feedback would still be enforceable. Now, some people would believe that we should suspend these rules, these common sense policies, by calling for even more study. My amendment ensures the rules will remain enforceable while further study is conducted, so that we don't see more lives put at risk as a result of these delay tactics. What we should be doing is ensuring safety is first, and if it proves not necessary, then pull back. There are other provisions, though, in this bill that I believe could jeopardize highway safety as well. I'm pleased, though, that earlier today we were able to work together and pass an amendment to further study a proposal to allow heavier trucks, longer trucks on the road. Heavier trucks could cause greater damage and destruction to human life and property when these accidents occur. So I am grateful to the work of my colleagues for working together on this. A final example of a common sense provision we in Congress should address as we work to improve highway safety is the minimum levels of insurance required by truck drivers. When truck crashes do occur and the insurance doesn't cover the cost of these accidents, taxpayers are left to front the bill. We should look to the decades-old minimum levels of insurance and assess whether those minimum insurance standards needs to be raised so that families torn apart by truck crashes aren't then thrust into debt because of medical bills. I've met with some of these families. I've sat with them and heard their stories about how low levels of minimum insurance have left them in dire straits. And taxpayers, we should not be left without the funding to rebuild damaged roads and bridges in the aftermaths of such significant crashes. It's time to modernize the minimum level of insurance for truck drivers so that we're all better equipped in the aftermath of an accident. Again, I've sat with far too many survivors and their family members. I've seen and talked and engaged with them, hearing the truth of their stories. We cannot sit silently while truck accidents are increasing in our country, and allow common sense safety to be rolled back in these spending bills. Where there are meaningful and practical solutions to pressing highway safety challenges, these are discussions we need to have. This is a fight worth having, and I look forward to continuing to work with my colleagues to improve the safety on our nation's highway. We have the capability. We have the know-how. We have the science to help us to begin to reduce these tragic accidents and fatalities on our highways. I believe we should show greater urgency in protecting human life and protecting Americans as they ride along our roads. Thank you very much, and now I do yield the floor.